Good evening, guys. Hello, hello. Hope everyone's okay. Right. So I'm on. Hang on. Right. I'm on Dan's laptop because mine has given up the ghost or whatever the term is when it comes to Zoom. My speaker's broken. I've got a new one coming next week. So I'm on Dan's laptop and it's just presenting a little bit different to what I am used to. So I will just give it a couple of minutes for people to hop on. I hope everybody is well and had a good day. Okay. So the purpose of this evening was I was chatting to a few of my own teamies and people, like a couple of people had asked me for some top tips, and I know that I'd put a post up in my group before asking for like top tips from real teamies that, you know, not just myself, but people from people at all levels and stuff. And I thought, oh, I'll kind of reevaluate that document. And then I thought what would be a really lovely idea is that if we kind of come on here, hey, good evening, we can. I've got a few that I've written down, well, that I've printed off, sorry. I've got a few people that can't make it and they've sent me their ideas. Even if it was just like half an hour to an hour of us sharing ideas, sharing content, hopefully a few more people will hop on. I know it's bank holiday, so I know a few might not be around, but I just thought it might be a really nice idea if we then have this as like a training resource going forward. I can put it on my YouTube, I can create a link, and then if you've got any new teamies that come in and they can say, you know, have you got any top tips? We've got this as like a little hub of ideas that are not just from myself, but from people across the board. So I will just give it a minute to see if anyone else is going to pop on. Obviously, if you are coming on and you are going to share a tip, it'd be lovely if you could put your camera on and I could see your beautiful faces. So I will just give it a second. Feel free to unmute yourselves, anyone, if you want to say good evening, want to say hello. We're all friends here.
Hi Laura, you okay?
Hello, I'm good, thank you, my love. How are you?
Too bad, not too bad. How was the caravan?
Lovely, thank you. It just means you've got like a month's worth of washing. But no, it was really lovely, thank you. Good. Cool. Okay, my loves. Right, it's 8:30. So I don't want to keep you too long. So it is being recorded. I will share these. I've just printed off, like I said, a few of my kind of top tips, and I'm going to read out some from the people that they've sent me, and then I will open it up. And if anybody else wants to share, that would be amazing. If people jump on throughout, then that's brilliant too. So I will start. So firstly, thank you for being here this evening. I'm Laura Sawkins. I'm Superstar Director of Group Glitter Sparkle. I'm sharing that because some of you will be watching this live, some of you will be watching it on replay, and some of you will be watching this on YouTube. So my top tips for success in your Scentsy business. Okay, my first one is get rid of all your excuses. Okay, and I mean this with absolute love. Anyone, if this is the first time you're listening to me speak, you will know that all my truth bombs explode with glitter. It is all sent with love, but you need to get rid of all your excuses. There are people doing spectacular things in Scentsy in times of huge adversity. There are people that I know that have got every reason under the sun that they could use to say, oh, do you know what, I can't work my Scentsy business because of XYZ, but they don't, and they get rid of their excuses and they get on with it. Okay, second one, mindset. If you want something badly enough, you will find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. You need to believe in this. You need to really, really believe that you can do this. And I'm not just talking about saying like, oh yeah, I want to work my Scentsy business. I'm talking about like deep down inside, really, really believe, not listening to the opinions of other people, and really believing that you can do it. Believing in yourself and believing in the products. Because if you don't believe in it, how are you ever going to get it? How is anybody else ever going to believe in it? Like, you need to believe deep down in your core that you can do this, because you absolutely can. Okay, it's not easier for anybody else. Every single person that starts gets access to the same workstation, the same resources, the same internet that's got all the same trainings on there. The deciding factor is going to be what you choose to do with it. Vicky, I'm just laughing because I can just see your cat across the screen. She wants to be a consultant. I love it.
She's quite pleased to see us, having not had us for a week.
Oh, bless her.
She's funny.
Is anyone else having issues? Not that I can see, Bex. I don't know. Is anyone else having any issues with sound or anything? I don't know, my love. I'm like the least techie person in the world, as you will probably see from me trying to work this. Okay, so right, okay, I will carry on. Hopefully it will sort itself out, my love. Right, I'm going to try and what is that? So there we go. It is recording. Good. I was just checking it was recording. Okay. The next one I've got written down is vision. Okay. You need to be honest with yourself. What are you doing with your Scentsy business? Let me put you back on gallery. If you are in it to sell a few wax bars and earn a few freebies, then that is absolutely fine. Okay. This is your business. It is your baby. Nobody is here to tell you how many hours a day you're meant to work, what you want out of it, what your dreams are, what your goals are. That is all deep down inside you, okay? If you are in it to sell a few wax bars and earn a little side income, then that is absolutely fine. There is zero pressure to do any more than you want to. But if you want to go all in, okay, are you in this to build your dreams? Are you in this to build a legacy? Now, when I started Scentsy, I'll be honest, it was to earn a few wax bars. I just went in, I enjoyed it, I fell in love with it, I started partying, and then as it grew and I saw the potential, I was like, right, I want a piece of this. So you need to think about what you want from your Scentsy business, and that might evolve and that might change as you go along. But you always need to think about the bigger picture, okay? Keep your eyes forward. Don't compare yourself to what other people are doing. Get your eyes forward and your arrows out. Stop thinking about what Scentsy can do for you and start thinking about what it can do for other people. What we truly have our hands on here is a gift, and it's our job to share that with the world, okay? This is what I wrote down a while ago. Sight is a function of the eyes. Vision is a function of the heart. Make a plan, write it down, and look at it every day. It is really, really important, guys, to go. Sorry, what's this? Go on to log off. Go and log off and come back on. Okay, Bex, hopefully that will work, my love. Okay. Always. Now, some of you might laugh at this. Some of you might roll your eyes at this. Some of you might think, oh my God, she's off on a like positive, happy train again. But I'm going to say it. Always find the positives. Life is not always perfect, okay? There are going to be bumps in the road. There are going to be quiet times. You're going to have hard days. Believe me, everybody has them. Nobody's exempt from having tough things going on in their life. But you can always find the positives. Life isn't always perfect. There are going to be bumps in the road, but you can always find the way to find the positive. You are not in control of what happens sometimes, but you are in control of how you deal with it. So, for example, if you have an order that turns up and it's turned up on your doorstep, and this genuinely happened to me. We've been away for a week. One of my orders have been left in the rain and some of the boxes are damaged. Okay, I can't give them to customers like that. It's not ideal. Let's be honest. I've been away for a week. It's not great. But you are in control of how you deal with that situation. If you kick off and scream, and let it get to you and you get angry, and then you're not in control of what's going to happen externally sometimes, but you are in control of how you deal with it. Okay, last couple, and then I'm going to read out some from other people, and then I'm going to hand over to other people that are on here. Okay, never ever under any circumstances compare yourself to anybody else. Okay, your journey is yours and yours alone. Okay, all this will ever do is steal your focus and steal your joy. Stay in your own lane and concentrate on your own business. I cannot stress that enough. If you are spending your precious time and energy focusing on what other people are doing, you're not focusing on what you're doing. So that's really, really important. Okay. Sorry, there's an alarm going off behind me and I didn't know what it was. Okay, last penultimate one from me. Okay, consistency. You need to be consistent. Are you sharing every single day? Even if it's just one post, one joint conversation, at the end of the year, that is 365 days of consistency that you have worked your business. You do not need to be tied to your phone 24 hours a day. That is the whole point of what we do, guys, okay? You do not want to be showing the world that you are sat at a desk for 8 hours a day. That's a job. This is network marketing, okay? You work it around your life and your business, but you can absolutely show up every single day. Never give up on a dream because of the time it takes to get there. The time is going to pass everywhere. Anyway, I'm chucking out the cheesy quotes tonight. Okay, and the last one. This is a huge one, and you'll hear me say this all the time. We are a relationship building business. Do not just rely on social media. Don't get me wrong, social media plays a huge part of my business. I use it every single day, but it is a part of it. Little clue, you're not going to post on Facebook for a month and be a millionaire. It's not how it works, I'm afraid. One post on Facebook and hoping that that's going to get seen is not working your Scentsy business. You need to follow up. You need to network, WhatsApp, text, email, personal message, and personal interaction. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, if you change your mindset on that, then your business will fly. Okay, they are just a few from me before we get started. I have now got 4 that people have sent to me that I'm going to read out. So the first one is from one of my very best friends, Kelly Birmingham, and one of my teamies. Her top tip is do not overthink. Those things that you worry about, whether it be lives or starting a conversation with somebody, whatever it may be, is always far scarier than the actual doing of it. The only thing to fear is fear itself. Now, Kelly's not on here. She's got a little baby and she was struggling to get into bed. But I can tell you that girl told me she was never going to do a live video, was never going to sponsor anybody, was just going to do it again to earn a few bars of wax. And now she's doing all the things and absolutely loving it. So that's definitely a top tip. Okay, next one, Emma Rogerson. I don't think she's on it. It's her wedding anniversary. My top tip is to talk to people. Tell everyone what you're doing and don't be afraid to message your customers and ask if they want to place an order or have a sample pack or want any more info on joining. Nothing bad happens from asking. Sometimes it is as simple as just asking the question. All of my sales come through just talking to people and I absolutely love it. Maddie Deakin, she sent me this top tip. My top tip is definitely make sure to post pictures of customers' orders and make sure they leave a review or a picture once they've received it. Don't be scared to ask your customers to post a review and tag you in. Make sure they do it on their personal page and then tag you in, because then all their network are going to see it as well. I've had so many orders from people seeing what other people have received. That is so true. We've all got FOMO. Now, I know that Laura Bynes and Lisa Allwood are on here. And whenever women's best fitness wear, we are like the biggest advocate for this. We'll see like an email come through, or we'll see something, oh, that there's an offer. What are you wearing? I'm going to have that. We literally all buy the same thing. And it is exactly the same with your Scentsy business, okay? If other people are seeing all these lovely goodies arriving, then their friends are going to think, hang on a minute, I want a piece of that. Okay, Katrina McLean sent me this earlier. My top tip 100% is to be consistent with your I love this, is to be consistent with your own personal non-negotiables, not what other people are doing, your own personal non-negotiables. She said, I set 2 when I joined in April, and I'd say I'm really starting to see the benefits now. So her aim, even when she didn't have a team, was 500 PRV minimum every month and to post minimum 3 times a day. She said, I stay up, now bear in mind, Katrina's a teacher as well, I'm sure. I stay up later once a week and schedule them all in one go so I know that it's done. Working smarter, not harder there. She's put, the other one I've discovered today is to keep going, and even if it seems slow and tough, which August did at the beginning, but today I literally can't keep up with people wanting to place orders, some of them for the end of this month and some of them for the 1st of September. I think I'm going to be over 500 PRV on day 1 of September when people send me the money, and I've gained 7 new customers. So all the work that I've done last month and in August has paid off. It just wasn't instantly. That is a great tip, okay? Keep planting those seeds. They might not come to harvest straight away, but they will come to fruition eventually. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. I've got in my mind how this is going to work. It might not. But the table is open. Feel free, guys, to unmute yourselves. And whoever has got a top tip, feel free. Or actually, I tell you what, if you've got a top tip, pop your hand up and I will unmute you or ask you to unmute yourself, and then we might get some kind of order in the room. Vicky Baker, off you go, my love.
Hang on, I've got rid of the cats. So I can talk now. No, my main thing, which I've learned, thank you, from last week, was never go Scentsy naked anywhere. Especially if you go away somewhere. I actually at the last minute chucked in 2 sample packs and a flower we've just been on holiday, chucked it in the car. I thought I'll take that with me just in case. And then the beautician, lovely beautician that did my facial and massage, was really interested in it. So instead of giving her a tip, I gave her a flower. And then she wanted to join, and she joined today. I don't think she's actually made it on here because she had to pick her son up from work at 8:30. So she was struggling to get on. But yeah, so like always have a pack with you, brochures. I wish I'd had some more to give her so that she could give more out straight away, but I only had 2 on me. So I've given her the 2 that I had so she can get going. But my main tip is always have that to hand wherever you are, like, because you never know who you're going to meet and, you know, and what's going to come of it. So that's my biggest tip.
Absolutely amazing, my love. Opportunity is everywhere, and never go out Scentsy naked. Thank you very much, my love. Lisa and Law, obviously, I know we spoke about this earlier, so I don't know if you guys want to hop on and give a couple of top tips. That would be fabulous. Lisa Allwood and Laura Bynes, that was, sorry. Oh, Laura Bynes.
Hey, I've just unmuted myself. So, Lisa, did you want to go first, Lisa?
Can I? Because I'm going to literally hop on and hop off if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. Go on. I'll leave you to it. I'm in.
And I know that I was home and I thought, I've got to jump on. I
didn't think you were coming on. I was like, oh, they're here.
Yeah, we literally just, I'm not actually joking. We walked through the door at 8:25 and I was like, let me jump on. But Mike's still standing tables, painting, and I feel like I need to go and assist. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just give a couple of tips. There's been 1 or 2 things probably in the last week that have made me think actually they're things that need sharing. And I don't know if it's already been said. So Laura, I might have missed the beginning. So I don't know whether you've already covered this, Laura. But I think more than anything, you need to be your own best customer and you need to be using the products. And this is something that I don't want to say this to say, go, and that will lead me on to my other tip. Not to spend your own family money on loads of Scentsy, obviously. That's my second tip. But the first one, if you are going to spend family money, work out what you would normally spend on your toilet cleaner, your your normal flash bathroom, all of those different things, and buy the products. Be prepared to maybe spend a little bit more. Buy our products in terms of the laundry, the bath soak, things that you wouldn't necessarily maybe buy for yourself, and use them. And I tell you why, because I've had probably over nearly £200 worth of sales in the last week. Actually, they were last week, but basically from just going live and doing stories, repeating the live, if you like. And I did it on my stories of using all 3 washing products, for example. That was just one. So I showed how to use the whiffs, how to use the Scent Soft, and how to use the laundry liquid. Now, if I didn't have those in my cupboard, I probably wouldn't have sold those items, because I could do a post about that on social media and my customers would probably read it and say, oh yeah, okay, it was all right. But the fact that I did a post on it, I did a live on it, I then actually showed on my stories using it, I then sold a bundle of all of the laundry, the same as the all-purpose cleaner. Bought it, used it. The same as the Glam collection. Bought it, used it, sold it. That's how it seems to work for me. And my customers massively, they buy into you at the end of the day. They're buying into you as consultants. So even if you can't, afford to buy yourself loads of things, just pick one product a month that you'll be like, right, that's my focus product. Say, for example, it's bath soak and you've never used the bath soak before. The best review that your customers are going to ask for is going to be the review that comes from you. And you can then honestly say, look, I've tried that soak, I've tried that. It's the same with wax. You know that when you can say to your customers, oh my God, coconut lemongrass, if you've not tried it, it is the strongest wax we do. End of, period. There's no other arguments. Maybe clothesline comes in close. But between those, you can always say that. The same as I can always say to my customers, yuck, I don't like jammy time, don't shoot me now. But you will love it because you love lavender. So if you haven't, and I've even tried things that I think, I know I'm not going to like this, and Laura will tell you, I put jammy time in my warmer, I rang her and I went, put jammy time in my warmer, I've just chucked it out of my warmer. It literally went in, went out that quick. And she was laughing because obviously she loves jammy time and I'm like, gross. But jammy time laundry, on the other hand, I went live, raved about it, sold a whole bundle of it. So, but I will tell my customers that. I will say to them, oh my God, jammy time's far too strong for me, it gives me a headache. But if you love strong, you're going to love it. So if you're not using the products, that is probably my biggest top tip. One, you're going to get PRV, or you're going to use your free credit. And two, you are going to get sales because people are going to see you using them. You're going to be able to go live about them, and you're going to be able to show the products. And another tip that comes from Kirsty is, even if you buy the laundry, don't throw your empty bottles away. If you can't afford to buy more, then fill it up with pretend laundry and show people that you're doing your laundry, even though you're not really doing your laundry with Jammy Time. But then you can literally, that's when your drama school skills come into play. So that is a top tip. My second tip, and this is something I'll be really quick, is not to spend your family money on Scentsy. And I am about to, this is a live that I'm actually going to do with my team tomorrow. I watched the live training on it and I was like, oh my God, that is such, and it's something that probably I don't preach about enough. Ideally, your family, you shouldn't be having to spend lots of money to put into your orders. If your orders are costing you money, for example, with little extras, like when I very first started, I literally gave out samples, I can't even believe I'm saying this, in Tesco sandwich bags. But that was what I could afford, and it was what I had in my house. And did it stop me getting sales off the back of my samples? No, it didn't. And do my teamies remember that? The ones that joined? Yes, they do. They remember that my samples came in a Tesco sandwich bag to them, which I know that sounds hilarious. And I remember I did a course, like a program with an SSD that we were with at the time. And one of the things we had to make up was sample packs. And I didn't have all the wonderful things that to make my sample packs. So I wrapped mine, and Laura, I don't know if you remember these, I wrapped them in brown paper because that was what I had to hand at the time. But it didn't cost me anything because it was something that I had at home. So if you can try to make sure that you're not pumping loads of your family money in Scentsy, because I think it's really easy to do these wonderful things. Like I've done it, sent of the month back parcels, for example. And then what I've done is sometimes gone out and bought all the extras to go in, and I think all these extras. But actually, let's face it, your customers literally just want the wax. They're not bothered about all the extras, are they really? They literally just want the wax. They want the Scentsy. So that's a really big tip, is Scentsy shouldn't be expensive to you. I know I'm talking about buying product, but there's a good reason for that. You're using something, you're replacing products that you're going to use in your family home, against not like sort of wasting money on chocolate or all the little extras that you don't need to put in. Keep it simple. That's why we get host credits. That's why we get half price items. Use that to your advantage. Use that for your Scentsy business if you can. And it will repay you in time. Like I know it's like sometimes you think, oh, but I really want to buy everything. Like I've been there and done it. But you also don't want to be in 6 months' time quitting Scentsy because you think it's too expensive to run your business. It actually shouldn't cost you. And Laura and I, when we first started, I didn't have any money. My kit went on my credit card. And I used all of those little 3 waxes that come in my kit to literally cut into the tiniest little samples. I actually melted them and made a lot of mess with them, but they were like tiny samples everyone got at the very start. And I tried to keep it as cost effective as possible because it was all about making money and not about spending money. Obviously everybody's in different situations. If you've got it to put into your business and you make £200 and you think, right, okay, out of that £200 I got paid from Scentsy, I'm going to take £20 of that, I'm going to put it back into my business to make samples. Absolutely fantastic. That's the way to do it, but it shouldn't be your fate. Your business shouldn't be costing you more money than you make. Anyway,
100% agree. Amazing, thank you. And just to echo that, and the girls know this, I have literally just bought a new laptop. It's coming next month after 4 years. So the laptop that started my business, and I'm on Dan's now because it's given up, but I'm just buying a new laptop, and it's the same laptop I've used throughout my whole business. I didn't have a printer till I got to Director. I used to write the names on my sample stickers with the things I used to buy in Asda. So yeah, completely agree, Lise. Thank you very much.
No problem. I'm going to shoot now, but thank you for having me.
Thanks, love. See you later. Cool. Okay, so Laura Bynes, my love.
Hey. Sorry, I missed the first 5 minutes, so
that's okay, Dan.
I may well repeat what Laura's already said, which is probably likely.
The same person.
Exactly. One of the first things I would say, and I know, I will be honest, I know there are people out here that disagree with this, but for me, I think this is quite a big thing. You hear all the time thrown around, work smarter, not harder. And in my mind, when I apply that to my Scentsy business, I don't spend time making my samples into molds, making them look super pretty and like a butterfly mold. I know we get the molds obviously that Scentsy send through to us, and They're lovely. And don't get me wrong, in the early days I would spend my Saturday and spend 2-3 hours making all these beautiful samples. And then once I made my samples just by chopping them in half, which no joke took me 30 seconds. And I got the same amount of orders off the back of it as I had on my samples that took me 3 hours. And I suddenly thought, why am I spending 3 hours of my time making these samples look beautiful? Because yes, my customers might go, oh, that's cute, it's a butterfly. And then they just bung it in their warmer. They don't, unless I was doing like a special theme, like a Christmas box or a wedding gift or something like that. If it purely is for smelling purposes and for someone to bung in their warmer, I hate to break it to people, but they're not going to buy it because you've put it in a butterfly mold. They're going to buy it because they like the smell, how it smells. And in my eyes, my time is more effective spending maybe that hour that it would have taken to make samples, messaging my customers, following up with my customers, spending time messaging some of my teamies. That is going to be more effective for my business than making my samples look pretty. So I'm not saying those of you that love making your samples look pretty, if you have the time to do that, that's wonderful. And I'm not saying don't do it, like that's totally not what I'm saying. But if you're finding that you are pressed for time and you are trying to make Scentsy fit into your pockets of time because you're working and you're a mum and you've got a dog and you've got doing house rent, whatever it is, if you're literally fitting in Scentsy in those little 10 minutes pockets of time, don't spend that time doing things that aren't necessarily going to bring extra to your business, because it is just as effective for you to slice it into 4 little cubes, pop it in a bag with a little label on, job done. You've done it whilst you're making the kids dinner, which is actually when I tend to do my samples. I have a chopping board for the kids dinner, I have a chopping board for my samples. I'll chop their cucumber or whatever, then I'll quickly do their wax, move it to one side, and then when they're in bed, I'll pop it into the little sample things. It takes none of my time up, but I'll make the same amount of money from the orders I'll get from that as I would if I'd spent hours doing it. So in my mind, working smarter, not harder is a huge thing. I was out with the children today. We're at a play centre. When they were running off to go down the slide, I was messaging customers to follow up. I was out all day, so I couldn't be sat at my desk spending 2 hours following up. But every time they were like, Mummy, we're going down the slide, I was like, okay, great, have fun. And quickly sending a message to my customers. I was making my Scentsy fit into my life. And that's probably my next big tip is make your business fit into your life. Don't make your life fit into Scentsy, because the moment that you're trying to make flipping it round and it's kind of all in your head constantly, oh my god, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do that, and it's taken over your life, that's when you'll find you'll lose your passion. And I think people can see when you've lost your passion. People can see when you aren't absolutely adoring what you do. If you want people to buy into you, because they're going to buy into you before they buy into a product, if you want them to buy into you, they've got to believe that you love it. And if you aren't loving it, people will see through that. So a huge thing for me is that I make it fit into my life. I live my life and Scentsy fits around that. That's why I love it, because I can do everything I want to do, but still have a business. And that means my passion stays there. The moment it's not enjoyable is the moment my customers will see through that and be like, I don't think I'd want to do that Scentsy. She looks really stressed out. Like she seems like she never has time and she seems like it's a chore. So make Scentsy fit around your life, not the other way around. The other thing that I would say is when it comes to your customer page, Instagram, whatever it is, wherever you're working your Scentsy business from, make sure people see you. They don't just see a product. And I think that is such a huge thing. If I look back on my Instagram when I first set it up, I'm like, oh my God, because it literally was like a picture of a warmer, a picture of a wax, a picture of cleaning product. Well, literally, it was just like sell. And my Instagram got no interaction. I got no orders from it. I didn't gain any new customers from it. And I used to think, well, how are people successful on this? Because I'm just not getting this. And then I flipped it and I was like, actually, the whole point of why I love what I do, like I said before, is this fits into my life. So I started to show my life a lot more. Like one of my posts on my Facebook today was the kids in a play centre and then the kids scoffing their face with popcorn. That was my post on my customer page. And I got far more interaction from that than the post probably that I'd put on yesterday with the picture of a warmer. Like, don't get me wrong, I still get interaction on those posts because I use real life pictures, but I get more interaction when it's more real and it's more about me and You might not want to put your kids on social media. I'm not saying that's what you need to do, but what I am saying is showing your life. People will respond to that so much more to just responding to a product. So I think if you can get the ratio on your page of around 50-50 of real life to Scentsy, I think you'll find people would just resonate with you so much more than if it's just Scentsy. Because I know I've got friends in network marketing who aren't necessarily in Scentsy, but they might be with other network marketers. And if it's purely just product after product after product, I switch off. Even though they're like my closest friends, I switch off. And then if I see their face pop up or their house, I'm like, oh, what's that? And then I interact with it because it's just more interesting. So if you're not popping any of your real life in there, try to start to integrate that in. As I say, you don't have to show your kids. I'm not saying that, like, you do it how you want to do it. Stay in your lane of what fits with you, but try to make it more personal. If you're decorating one of the rooms in your house, put a before and after picture in there. If you are decorating a room in your house, maybe say to everyone, I'm not sure what room is going to fit. What do you guys think would fit well within this room? If you're planning a day out and you're popping in your car, picture of 2 car bars, you're still interacting with the customer with the product, but you're going, this is me in my car, which new car bar do you think is going to work best? Or I have the kids choosing a wax change, whatever, just make it more personal. That for me, I find has helped so much, because I think my customers feel like they know me better. It's not just about Scentsy, they're getting to know me as a person. And there's a lot of Scentsy consultants around there. Like, everyone knows that, we hear it thrown around all the time. Oh, there's so many Scentsy consultants, and there's loads in my area. But customers will go to the person they relate to the most. And if you're just popping pictures of products on there, they're not going to find they can relate to you. So for them to relate to you, they need to get to know you. So I think a huge thing is to make sure you are actually showing you as a person, not just you as a Scentsy consultant. And then my final tip is that no is just a word. No is just a word, the same as yes is a word. It doesn't matter. If somebody says no to you, whether it's about buying a product or joining your team or do they want a new catalogue, whatever it is, if someone says no, okay, great, move on. It literally doesn't matter. It's just 2 letters. And I think the moment you can get over the fear of somebody saying no to you is the moment that you can move forward with your business. I've had people before. I messaged somebody the other day going, hey, hon, I just wondered, would you like one of the new catalogues? Like, she's always bought from me, and then I've not heard from her for a little while. Would you like a new catalogue? She was like, no, thanks. Please don't send me one. So I was like, okay, no worries. Take care. I literally don't care. It didn't bother me, because I'm like, that's fine. She might have a new Scentsy consultant, or she might just not want to buy Scentsy anymore. Like, it's not a big deal, because there's plenty of people out there that do want to buy Scentsy, and there's plenty of people out there that do want to interact with me. So if she doesn't, that's absolutely fine. I'll just move on. And I think as soon as you get comfortable with the word no and you get over that fear of hearing it, you'll move forward in approaching new customers, approaching new teamies, speaking to people, and not being afraid to have that conversation with them about joining or about buying or whatever it happens to be. So yes, I don't know if I've just repeated lots of things that Laura said. Apologies if I did.
No, you totally didn't. It was all different. But actually, that second one is just like, just on the money. I think it's the thing that we literally can't say enough. Like, the Scentsy is the product. Every single Scentsy consultant that joins has access to the same product, but you are your brand. And how are people ever going to know your brand if they don't see you? And I honestly, I feel as well, when I understood that, that's when I saw a shift in my business. Because, like, for example, I totally know off the top of my head, while we were away last week, the post that got the most interaction was I put a picture of me and the kids at Wilderwood on a boat, me and Ella and Harry, Dana, Tick and Finley back to the car. And I was like, oh my God, having an amazing day out in Wilderwood with the kids. Who's been? And it got so much, because everyone's like, oh my God, I've been, I love it, da, da, da. And then obviously, you know, they're all on there. And then the next time I post about Scentsy, boom, I'm going to go into their news feed. But it is so true. You need to let people see the real person, the person behind the product, because that's what's going to differentiate you from everybody else.
And also, do you know what I was just going to say? I dropped a bulb over to a customer yesterday, and I had to take the dog out for a walk, so I took him with me. And she was like, oh my God, this is Monty. Oh my God, I've been so excited to meet him. And I thought, she's a new customer, like, we don't know each other that well, but she knows my dog's name and was like super excited to meet my dog, because obviously I've shown him on my Scentsy page. And instead of it being a very quick, here's your bulb and me going and have a very small conversation. This was the first time she stood on her doorstep and we chatted for like 10 minutes. Whereas before, she's never been that person that's really spoken much. She's been quite like, oh, thanks, yeah, I just need some new wax and end off. Like, she's just not a very talkative person. But because I had my dog with me, and she's seen him on my Scentsy page time and time and time again, she was like, it was that common ground all of a sudden. And it was like she'd become my best friend. So show you and show your life, and people respond to it so much more.
Definitely. Poor Dan, he's out sometimes, and he said people go, hi Dan, and he's like, hello, Dan. Oh yeah, you don't know him. He's not even on social media, but he's always going to be on it, being married to me, isn't he? Right, thank you very much, my love. Okay, let's move on. So Claire, you've got your hand up, babe. Did you want to unmute yourself? Where are you? You're there.
Hi. I didn't have my camera on because of my greasy hair.
Oh God, don't be daft. You look lovely.
I hope you can hear me properly. I've had to close myself in the bathroom because there's a lot of noise in the house.
We can hear you, that's fine.
So my top tip is, when I'm speaking to one of my customers, I try to speak to them as if they're my only customer. And a couple of examples of some things that I've done. When we was back in the pandemic, a customer had ordered the mercury glass warmer, and it didn't come in for whatever reason. So I had a mercury glass, so I loaned her my one. She ended up with my one for 3 weeks, but she was massively appreciative of it. Also, another customer, when they've been toying with the idea, one customer said, I really like the idea of the over the rainbow, but I'm not sure because of the price, etc., etc. And I had it. So I said, okay, put it in your house, keep it for a week. And she didn't want to give it back. So yeah, that went to make another order. So yeah, that's it. Try to go the extra mile, not necessarily spending money, but just like genuinely care. And yeah. That's it.
No, that's amazing, because it's give that customer service. If your customers know you care, then we call it like our VIP customer group. Your customers are your VIPs. Without your customers, you don't have a business at the end of the day. And it is things like, like, even if, like you said, in the middle of the pandemic, when their warmers were being delayed for 4 weeks, let's be honest, it's not ideal, but don't ghost them and not let them know, even if it's not the answer that you want to give, just even if it's just like popping them a message going, hi hon, hope you're really well, just to give you a little update. This people appreciate, because like, I'm sure if you flip it round to if you were a customer, how, when you've had good customer service. So no, that is amazing, my love. Thank you very much. I'm just Laura Osler, you had your hand up, my love. Did you want to share?
I was only really going to say what Laura had already said about don't be afraid of the word no. Don't quit, just keep going.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid of the word no. Someone will say yes eventually.
They will. Amazing. No, that's brilliant. Thank you, my love. And I know you won't mind me sharing, Laura, that this isn't your first time back with Scentsy. You've been on a bit of a journey with it, haven't you? And the third time you've come back, but you've had, I'm not going to share your personal circumstance, but you've had some real challenges which you've overcome, and I massively take my hat off to you, and you've come back, and that is it. Like you said, just don't give up and keep going. So yeah, absolutely amazing, my love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joanne, you've got your hand up, darling.
I have. I'm not the best person at Scentsy, but I'm gonna.
You are flipping amazing. Where have you gone? You there? Oh, I think you've muted yourself. Babe.
Yes, I have. Sorry. Okay, so for me, my biggest tip, and I've learned this over the past few weeks, having COVID, being stuck at home. I'm like, right, how am I going to try and run my business more? And I lost focus a little bit, and I needed to refocus myself. So what I did was I went on and I joined the AMI, I think, is it called? AMI? Yeah. And honestly, it's like the best tool. I'm still in my 30-day trial, and I said, right, if it's made an impact for me and my customers that I've got already, then after the 30 days, I'm then going to invest in that for my business. And it is brilliant, because it literally gives you your daily plan of what you need to do. So that's really helped me focus and reconnect with customers that I haven't spoken to for a while. It's even got things like email, like an email template, a message template, how to reach out to those people. So if anybody's struggling and thinking like, how am I going to put across to somebody in an email or a message, or reconnect with a customer that I haven't spoken to for a few months, or someone that hasn't ordered from me for like 6 months, that's such a great tool to use. And I think utilize the tools that Scentsy actually give us. So as much as we've got all you guys and all this great training, but there's so much on the workstation that you can get as well. And the AMI, honestly, I've heard people talking about it in other groups, and I never thought about it, and I thought, oh no, it's just something else that's going to cost me more money. It was like, don't want to be spending more of my own money into it. But actually, after it's letting me reconnect with customers I haven't spoken to for a while, they've reordered from me like this coming week. So I'm sitting here getting my orders ready to put in after this, which will take me well over my 500 PRV, which at the beginning of the month, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do it? I didn't even think I'd hit 200 because we weren't able to go out. We were isolating. It was like, how am I going to do this again? And obviously I do like VIP boxes and stuff, and I didn't want to handle product. Obviously I couldn't. So I was trying to get people to order direct straight to their homes rather than coming to mine. So definitely look at the tools that we've got to help. And if you're struggling to reconnect and stuff, then definitely try and look at the AMI. But yeah, that was my tip.
That is amazing. Thank you, my love. And I'm just gonna firstly, I'm glad you're feeling better now as well.
Thanks. Yeah. We're all good. Finally, we're fine.
Steph's just asked in the comments what AMI is. So AMI, Amy, is it's a digital like follow-up system that Scentsy puts in place for us. I'll be totally honest, and I'm always very open about this. When I tried to use it before, I'm very much like an old school pen and paper kind of girl, and I found it a little bit all-consuming. I'm on my phone quite a lot, but I know some people, Chloe Geek, I don't think she's on here. Oh no, she's not. She's at Ravertops. Maybe still not this time with her little one, but I know she's been out today. Chloe, absolutely. Zoe, I don't know. Chloe absolutely loves AMI, just like Jo's discovered she loves it. So Chloe did a training on it, which is in Group Glitter Sparkle. It's also on my YouTube channel. So I have a link that I can send to anybody if anybody would like any training on it. And I know I've seen another one in the Inspiration Station, and I can't remember who did it. But yeah, there are trainings out there on how to use AMI. There are trainings on your workstation, I'm sure, because it's a Scentsy. It's something that Scentsy provide for us. So what I will do, if anybody wants the link to the training that Chloe did, let me know and I can share it, send it, whatever. Or I'm sure Jo won't mind sharing any tips or anything, but it's basically, and this is why it's so important, when you Amy collates its information from your workstation. So it's so important when you're inputting customer details to make sure you've got like your customer's email address, telephone number on there, because that's how it collates the information, and then it kind of creates, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jo, because like I said, I've never used it extensively. When it creates your follow-ups, yes, it might give you like a blanket template message that you can send, but if you want to make it more personal, you can go in and edit that message.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about just giving you guidelines. And the biggest thing is, and it's making sure, like you said, put the orders in. So even if you're doing like a bulk order, then do it under the person's name that's buying, that you've got most of those products in, so that it comes up and it literally comes up with the order, everything that's in there for you. But yeah, you don't need to, like, it just, everything's there. It's great. You don't even have to keep going into the workstation. So with the workstation, you have to kind of navigate to go through to find their contact details, their email address, then their orders and stuff like that, but it's all under one. And even with the text messaging, it gives you a guide, a template, but you can go in and change it. You can completely change it if you want to. So yeah, it's all just guidelines, but it's good because it prompts you as well, and that's what I find. So I look at it first thing in the morning and then I forget about it, but it just gives you like a little to-do list. Don't forget to speak to this person, or check up on how's that person doing with their order, and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's just good for guidance as well for me. That's what's really helped.
Yeah, amazing, babe. Thank you. Claire's just written in the comments, I always order on behalf of my customers, so the only customer info in my workstation is when we've had a clearance sale. So that would be fine. But obviously, if you did want to start using AMI, when you go in and do your bulk ordering, you can put each individual customer's cart on there. So it might be a little bit more, seem like a bit more work in the short term, but if you're going to use this system in the long term, it's gonna create less work for you. Zoe Marlborough, have you just come on? That is really, is that Zoe Marlborough that's just come on? I can't see in the thing. No, because that's really spooky. I was just talking about Chloe Geek doing the training on AMI, and then I went, Zoe, and I said it twice, and I went, Zoe, and I went, Zoe's not on here, and I went, said Zoe again, and then you've just popped up.
Yeah, literally looking like a mess, but I was like, I'm trying to get on.
Not at all, but that's just really spooky. It like really freaked me out. I was like, where's Zoe? And then I was like, oh, she's there. It's like the universe sent you in. Okay, amazing. Sorry, just totally going off on a tangent. Right, I'm going to go to Karen because she had her hand up. And then, like I said, we'll carry on as long as people have got top tips to share. So, Karen, feel free to unmute yourself, my love, and share your top tip.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, obviously, as you were saying, go out of your comfort zone. Obviously, don't stick, with what you know. I've actually have 2 stalls. I've got booked one at a fun day. So actually to increase my customer base. So you never know who's going to go. And just sharing obviously all of the products. And also mindset as well. Just reading the books that you have. So just make sure, obviously, if you're in a good mindset yourself, then you're all set up.
Definitely amazing, and good luck. I know you've told me about that stall that you're doing, so hopefully that will. I kind of find events like that, they're brilliant for networking and like building connections. So yeah, that's and I know that is like massively out of your comfort zone, hun. So like, well done on that.
And also we've got one in sorry, what is the one state? Oh, in Chelmsford. It's one of the mindset things at the race course as well.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, yeah, that will be out of my comfort zone, but yeah. Amazing. Thanks, my love. No problems.
Okay, anybody else? Zoe, as you have popped on, did you have a top tip that you would like to share, my
love? Well, wear a bra for your lives, that's for sure. Yeah, so this, can you see in the background here? One of my biggest things is obviously being a mum of 6, busy mum, lots of hospital appointments with my daughter. I have no shame in showing my customers who I am behind the scenes. I will show them the stacks of washing is sat on my side. I will show them the real life, the kids that have trashed me pushchair and I'm sat here scrubbing it. Be you, don't worry about everything being picture perfect. When we sit for ages and like me coming on tonight, my hair like this, no bra on, looking like a mess, I'm okay with that because that's who I am. And that took me a really long time it's one of my biggest things that I've taken from Scentsy is that accepting who I am is okay, and others, that attracts others like me. So other mums that are busy, other mums that have piles up to their ceilings of washing, other mums that are pushing round kids and, dogs in tow, and it doesn't look pretty all the time. They get that now. They get that I am chasing my ass and I go on and I'm like, oh my God, this wax smells amazing. And they totally like, oh my God, she's actually obsessed with wax. Because it's my happy place. Scentsy is my happy place. It's my place where I'm not a mum, I'm not a wife. It's totally for me. And like this bit of washing up liquid you can see here, earlier in my customer group, I was mortified that my husband purchased fairy washing up liquid. Like he went to Tesco's and purchased washing up liquid. So I went live and I was like, have you seen what this man's just walked in with? And they loved it. Because they know that I would genuinely be mortified by the situation that was unraveling in front of my eyes. So don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid we are all beautiful in our own ways. You know, we're all worthy of showing our faces, showing our home life, showing our lives. And another thing that I found is for new people, new consultants coming into the business, touching on what Lisa said about making Scentsy your life, but also not spending money that you shouldn't be spending. What I say and advise a lot of my new consultants to do is write a list of everybody that you would buy birthday presents for, Christmas presents, christenings you've got coming up, weddings, teachers' gifts, all of that. Write your own personal list and write your own budget, but make sure that everything that you are giving people now is Scentsy, so that teachers' gifts, you know, make sure you're giving them, even if it's a scent circle with your details on it. If you've got a christening coming up, you know, grab a half price buddy when you've got your half price items there, so that you give that to them. Because if people aren't necessarily buying from you, because for a number of reasons, you know, when you're new and you hear the word, oh, it's expensive, it's not worth it. And if I hear one more time that it's just a stuffed teddy, you know, it's if they don't want to buy from you, bring Scentsy into people's lives. Give people Scentsy as a gift that you would normally be spending on them anyway. It's just that you are using your business to reward yourself, and you're buying from yourself because you should totally and utterly believe in the product that you are sharing. And that's what you should be using your half price items for. That is what that product credit is there for. It is to share that Scentsy with as many people as you can. So that's another tip. And another thing that I personally have found recently is when I use the word borrow bag, people seem to like run a mile. Or can somebody do this for me? It's a bit like they are doing me a favour, and I've really struggled. I've never had a problem getting my borrow bag out, but this last 3 months, I've really struggled. So I've completely changed how I've worded it now, and it's been completely different. I've basically gone to, anybody want to have my warmer in their house for 72 hours? Because as you can tell, I'm no photographer and I could do with some decent pictures. And I'm building a real life photo album in this group for people just to see what different warmers look like in different homes. And I had one lady the other day, she took 4 warmers with her. She took the new feathered one, she took the obsidian, she took the mini glitter, and she took the mini lily, and she come back from her family with an order of £190. She didn't do anything. She just took pictures and posted it on her timeline, because so basically she's done a party, she didn't even realise, but it was the wording that I used. And from her now, her mother-in-law's just taken them to have in her house, and I've said to them, have it for a week, lovely, take some pictures for me, morning, noon and night, and just post on it. That's all you've got to do. And now those 4 warmers are out back to back for the next 2 weeks. So just be careful of your wording on how you market something. Just because we know it as our borrow bag doesn't mean that's the words that we have to use to get people to share the Scentsy for us. Asking people if they would trial 5 of your favourite, or I don't know, 6 waxes, give them a cube of wax and say to them, can you let me know what your top 3 are, and just leave a review publicly on your page. For example, like for me, I don't like coconut lemongrass. Clothesline is too strong for me. So I've this week gone out of my way to ask people to review fresh waxes for me, because I struggle with them with headaches. And it's again, it's not masses, but it's brought in an additional 22 wax bars just from them leaving those reviews, not even on my group, just on their page. And I asked them if when they posted, if they had anybody that I'd like me to send the same sample pack out to, which has now meant that I've got another 6 sample packs to send this week. So it won't help me in August, admittedly, but it will help me in September. And 2 of them are completely new. They're not even on Facebook. So just how you word something and how you market it can have a huge difference to the response you get from people that are watching you all the time.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you, my love. And this was kind of why I wanted to do this tonight, because I just thought it is so important that we as a community share ideas, because sometimes it's the simplest things. Like you said, instead of just saying borrow a bag, let's try it this way, let's put this spin on it. But look at the success you've had on that. So yeah, that honestly, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you. And really, really important what you said about being your authentic self. You know, like a little bit like what Laura said earlier, like, it's so important. And I guess it kind of also ties into what we're saying about never compare. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Right? I moved here in December. It wouldn't have mattered to me if every single person in this road is a Scentsy consultant, because I am not them and they are not me. Just like I'm not Zoe, I'm not, like, everybody is so unique. I cannot stress enough, like Zoe just said, you have to show your customers who you are, because, you know, you've heard the term, like, your vibe attracts your tribe. You're going to attract your people to you. And that is why it is so important. So yeah, thanks, my love. That was absolutely brilliant. Anybody else wants to put their hand up? I'll probably like wrap it up in about 5 minutes. So we've got about an hour's content. So Tina Farrow, I can see you waving at me, my love.
Hello.
Yourself. Hello.
You're all right.
I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, good. My biggest tip, which I found out this month, is remember your reason why. I've had a really tough month with PRV, and I had to go right back to basics, and just remembering why I started Scentsy in the first place really made me have to start again, if you know what I mean. Like, so I had to go and talk to people, and just, even though that frightened me to do that, I just had to remember why I was doing it, and my why is my children and to make memories. So I just kept thinking, no, go and do it. And out of that, I've got 2 new customers, and I went to a park with the kids with the sample pack. I went Scentsy naked. I was very aware that I was going to do it that day. And I just spoke to her mum in the park and I give it to her. She might not order from me, but I was like, I put Scentsy in her hands. So I was really pleased with that. So yeah, just remember your reason why, because your why is always bigger than your fear. So yeah, that's it.
You're gonna make me cry, honestly.
I don't.
No, honestly, but only because obviously you WhatsApp me and then when you've done that. But that is so true, and that's why when we talk about like having your vision, like when everyone's going to have like rubbish days and things, oh, I can't do this, but every single person started doing this for a reason, and that's going to be so personal to you. Like every single person that's doing this is going to be for their own reasons. And there's a saying if you find your why, then you'll find your how. Like if something is important enough to you, then you will find that way to overcome that fear, or to overcome the things that are stopping you then going up to a stranger in a park. And obviously for any of you on here that are on my team, you would have seen when I did this. So when we were in Norfolk last week, we were going to Bewilderwood, and I'd set my goal for that day. I took a sample pack out and I was like, right, I went live and I said, guys, this is my goal for today. I want you all to choose something that you are going to challenge yourself to do today. And it never changes. It's almost, the longer you've been in, you've probably sponsored a lot of your team, a lot of your customers, and you've always got to keep growing. It's not a case of you reach director or star director or superstar director and you can just stop. But in fact, almost like the opposite, you have to keep growing and you have to keep getting new customers. So I still have to constantly challenge myself. And like Tina, I was like, right, that day I'm going out, I've got a sample pack and I'm handing this out to somebody brand new today. And I still get that bit of fear and that bit of like buzz in my tummy when I'm going to do it. But we were sitting at a table in Bewilderwood, we were kind of packing up from, it was like on a wooden table thing, and this lady was coming over and she was like, oh, are you finished? Are you leaving the table? And I was like, right, this is my moment. So she sat down and I just went to her, can I give you this? And she was like, yeah, what is it? And then I said to her, it's Scentsy today. She's like, I love candles and I love a freebie. You've made my day. So actually, by overcoming that fear, you're going to have potentially like grown your business. And you've made somebody smile that day. So 100% Tina, that's absolutely.
As we was in the park, a bit like you, I felt like a child. My tummy was going over, but I was like, no, I'm going to do it. Just do it. I want to give it to her. She was so sweet. And I was like, enjoy it while your kids are playing, read it. And obviously there were wax samples in there, and I turned around and she was reading it, and I felt so proud. I was like, yeah, it was the smallest thing, but I was like, she's looking at Scentsy and I love it. So I'm like, even if she orders from me or from somebody else, I've just put Scentsy in her life. I was so pleased.
Oh, no, it is. That's amazing, Tanya. Thank you. Laura Vines, you've raised your hand.
Sorry, I didn't unmute myself. It literally was just leading on from what you were saying. 100%, no matter how scared you are of doing that, and I totally know what you're saying, Tina, because you get that sicky. If you're not naturally an overly confident person, I know people think I'm very confident. I'm not. I'm literally not that person at all. And I understand that fear, and you think, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and you think, I don't know what I'm going to say, and you feel a little bit sick in your stomach. But trust me, overcoming that and then walking away knowing you've done it, you feel quite euphoric from doing it. And when you don't do it, you then kick yourself. And I had that experience on Saturday because I took my kids out to base jump, and this really lovely lady just started talking to me when we were finishing up and putting our shoes on and everything. And she was like, oh, I've just moved here. She just moved to Rayleigh. And she was like, I've just moved here, and actually we were looking for a house in Woodham. And we literally chatted for 10 minutes. And I was so mad for myself because I even had one in the car, but I didn't go. When she left, she was like, oh, I hope I see you again sometime. And that was my opportunity to go, do you want one of these? But I had that stupid thing in my stomach, and I was with my kids, and I was like thinking, oh, I'm just not going to do that. And then literally as I was driving home, I was like, well, I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I just give that to her? And I thought, because that sicky feeling, once I'd handed to her, would have gone, and I would have gone home going, woo, yes, I feel amazing. I've just potentially got a new customer. And that feeling would have been amazing. Whereas instead, I'm still kicking myself now thinking, she could have been like a future teamie. I might never see her again. She was lovely and she was chatting away, and I still am kicking myself thinking, why didn't I just give her a pack? Like, why did I hold back? And I held back through my own silly like worries about what somebody might think of me. And I'm like, oh my God, I tell people all the time, don't worry about what people think of you. And then I was that person and I'd done it. And I thought, I'm so cross with myself. And so it's made me think, I'm never going to do that again. Because even if someone was like, oh, thanks, and then threw it on their car seat, I'm not going to know that they've thrown it on the car seat and have laughed at me as they've driven off. I'm never going to know that. So you should just overcome it, because you don't know if people are laughing at you behind your back. It's behind your back. You don't know. You're never going to see that person again. So
Laura,
just massively overcome it.
I watched this training. I can't remember for life of me who it was, but there's like a 5-second window where you don't talk yourself out of doing something like that. So when I was sitting there like gauging the park, I feel like a stalker, but I knew I had to do it because I'd be annoyed like you if I didn't. And I give myself, I was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right, do it. And that's how I got myself over it. I give myself that little tiny window to not talk myself out of doing it.
That's Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins has got a YouTube training on that. It's quite a short training, but it's so true. It's like anything in life that you're scared of, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And it's done.
Go. Yeah, 100%.
It really does work.
100%. And Laura, sorry, there was one, sorry, I was just going to say that I didn't mention earlier, and I thought I really want to talk about this because I think it is really, really important. If something doesn't work, for example, you are doing monthly treat boxes, or you've decided to do a wax special, or you're doing a birthday club, or whatever it is that you are like, yes, I'm going to introduce this into my page, and you're all enthusiastic about it, and then you put it out there and you get like one person that goes, yeah, I'll have it. Don't then give up on it. Be consistent, because your customers will get so confused if on the Monday you're like, oh, I'm doing a fragrance flower special, and then on the Tuesday it's the birthday club, and on Wednesday it's treat boxes, and you're throwing all these things in all the time because not one thing has worked. You're just going to confuse your customers. Believe in what it is that you're offering and consistently offer it. For example, I'm doing a fragrance flower thing at the moment. It's not gone how I wanted it to go. Like normally straight away I've got like 10 people going, yep, I want that. I've only sold 4 of them. But I'm not then just going to go, right, well, I'll screw that. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to continually post this, even if it goes into next month, because I don't want to confuse my customers and make them think I don't believe in what it is that I'm offering. Do you know what I mean? So be consistent, because you're going to confuse your customers. If you're throwing different things out there every day because the first thing didn't work, you're just going to create confusion. Believe in what it is that you're doing. If it's a treat box, when I started my monthly treat boxes, I think I had 2 people. I could have gone, well, that's pointless. I've only got 2 people, but I didn't. And I've consistently done them every single month now for about 18 months. You have to keep that consistency, because otherwise everything that you try, if you give up straight away at the first hurdle, you're never going to get to the place where you want to be. Like, everything in life is difficult and sometimes doesn't work straight away, but we carry on trying. We don't give up when we take our first steps as a baby, or we don't give up halfway through labour and go, I'm not going to do it. Like, no matter how things are going, you just have to see it through and think like that when it comes to your Scentsy business as well.
Amazing, my love. Thank you. Right, guys, I am going to, unless anybody else has got anything else that they want to share. Anybody else? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Owen, you've unmuted yourself.
Yeah. So yesterday I stepped out of my comfort zone. I was in Wagamama's. The lady who was serving us was giving us like amazing customer service, and I literally just was like, right. I stepped out and I was like, just to let you know, I think your customer service is amazing. I don't know if you'd be interested, but I sell home fragrance. I was like, here's my business card, and like just gave it to her. And then yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed, she'll then. But again, stepping out my comfort zone and just speaking about it.
Absolutely amazing. And that is, like you said, that is literally what it's about. It's like taking that big deep breath. You could have very easily thought, oh, I'm not going to do that, and walked away, but you didn't. So you never know. You literally never know. Like, opportunity is everywhere. Thank you, my love. Right, okay, so the last thing I'm going to say before I wrap this up, and just a huge thank you to everybody that's come on tonight and everybody that's shared. Like, it's really, really appreciated. And like I said, I am going to share this so we can all use this as a training resource and training tool for future Teamies. But the last thing I just want to share before we close off is, like Laura's just said, and we've all shared openly before, is that it doesn't matter how long you've been a Scentsy consultant. And I know we can kind of sit here and do these trainings and share all the things and all the tips, but everyone has days where they doubt themselves. Everyone has days where they, and I'm just going to be totally like open and honest with you now. Like a couple of weeks, about 2 weeks ago, there was a training that was the worldwide. I can't remember what it was. It's for like the trip that Wendy Newgas had asked me to speak on. And when I agreed to do it, I didn't even realise it was like a worldwide thing. I just thought I was going into Wendy's team group. And then she sent me this big long list of people, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going on there. So one, I was like, oh my God, this is actually a pretty big deal, but it's fine, I can do it, I can pull up my big girl pants. I'd had a bit of a rough day with the kids that day, and I've been to Malden, and I got in and I had a real wobble, I had a cry, I had, like Laura knows this, and I was like, oh my God, I've got to go live in like an hour. And everybody doubts themselves, like everybody has fears and insecurities and thinks, oh, I can't do this. And it would have been so easy that night for me to go, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to cancel. But I'd said I was going to do it, and I still get that adrenaline, like buzzy feeling. But once I got on, like everyone's so lovely. And like Zoe said a minute ago, like so many people have said, Scentsy is like my happy place. Like Laura said, Scentsy it's fun and it brings happiness and joy. It shouldn't be something that's bringing you stress and anxiety and worry. Remember why you started, and remember why you're doing it, and remember what Scentsy is about. And that night I literally came off and I was like, oh my God, I just felt like me again, because yes, I was a little bit nervous, and yes, everybody has them fears and worries and doubts themselves and things. I'll be honest, I don't worry about what people think about me as much anymore. I used to. I was massively insecure in my younger years, but I've so got to the point now where I'm like, I don't care. Like, you don't pay my mortgage, you don't pay to take my kids on holiday. That is one thing that is a skill and does take work on. But as in like your confidence in yourself, everybody has wobbles and everybody has days where they think, oh, I can't do this. But then you do it and you feel amazing, and that is what Scentsy can and will do for you. So don't ever feel that other people have it easier, or other people don't have rough days, or other people don't have days where they think, oh, I can't carry on, or they don't cry. Because believe me, I'm like the biggest crier in the world. I cry all the time. But Scentsy is like your home. It's like your safe place. So just know that like you're among friends. It doesn't matter whether it's your team, your sponsor, your upline, your sideline. We are Scentsy as like a community, and everybody's just here to support each other. I'm going to go because I'm getting all totes emotion. But honestly, just thank you so much. I will share the recording of this to all our relevant teams, and I'll put it on YouTube as well so we can share the link. So yeah, just thank you so much, guys. Lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon. See you later.